I haven't talked about mainstream comic book pros in a while, but this is a pretty spicy story, so I wanted to share it with all of you today. So, recently, there was going to be a big comic book fundraiser, virtual comic book panel. Had so many great names in the comic book industry. Mark Waid, Ron Mars, Greg Pak, Heather Antos, Jamal Igle, Jody Hauser. Who wouldn't want to tune in for those names and pay $50 just to watch? Not very many. As you can see, when you go to the actual website, sorry, the page you are trying to access is not accepting submissions at this time. What's going on? Well, we find out, looking into it a little bit, thanks to everyone that was excited for the hashtag comic panel for Biden, originally scheduled for this Thursday, October 22nd. By now, many of you know that this has been canceled. Please harness that original excitement and go out and vote.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
What excitement, first off. Now I'm going to get into why this was likely canceled in a second, but I want to show you the finger quotes excitement that's going on for this. So we clicked the hashtag, and it's the same group of people talking about it. That's it. Some of the people that were going to be on the panel promote it, and a few people in the media promote it, and a couple comic book sites promote it. Mark Waid, as you can see, promotes it, and that's it. It ends right there. And you look at the interaction that some of these got, it's pretty pathetic, especially for someone like Mark Waid, who has 107,000 followers. He gets one comment, 15 retweets, 51 likes. Okay, there was no excitement for this. Nobody cared. And I would imagine for many of them, this was a slap in the face for as far as their fame goes. There's an insane, and I think I was watching Literature Devil's stream this morning, and he was talking about it. I think it was Brian Michael Bendis that said this. I'm not sure, but I have heard it before, just like he was talking about on his stream. These people are comic book famous. Mark Waid, for example, who's probably one of the bigger names in mainstream comics right now. Probably one of the biggest people in comics, I would say, in the past few years that are still in the mainstream making stuff. As much as you don't like him, I mean, I don't really care for the man either, but he's still a pretty big name. He can only get that much interaction on this. These people are comic book famous. They're comic book famous. They're not famous, they're comic book famous. And I believe the quote was that people in comic book shops know who these people are, right? People in comic book shops, they know who Mark Waid is. They know who Ron Mars is, Greg Pak. But people outside of comic book shops, people that are just maybe casually reading books or something, they don't know who any of these people are. People know who Superman is. Hell, they might even know Kingdom Come, Mark Waid's biggest book. That doesn't necessarily mean that they know that Mark Waid wrote it. They're reading it for Superman, not Mark Waid. You have to understand that most casual fans don't know who the people are that wrote or even drew their work. Those are like the diehard fans that know all of these names. And the problem is that these comic book professionals, they think that they're big shit. They think that they're top dogs, super famous, and that they're big deals, and they're not. And the reason that this got canceled, I would imagine, is because nobody signed up for it. Nobody paid the $50 to just watch it. You had to pay to watch this. This was behind a paywall, from what I understand. You see a lot of things going on with this. You've got like the Avengers one that just happened. Now, those people are legitimately famous. Everybody knows who Robert Downey Jr. is, Chris Evans, because they see them. You see them. You know who they are. Mark Waid, nobody knows who Mark Waid is. Outside of a comic shop, a convention, nobody knows who they are. And these people hole up in their little homes, and they're so socially isolated. They don't understand that the common person has no idea who the hell they are. So nobody signed up for this stupid victory fund thing. And to save face, they've canceled it. probably under the disguise that it was for the debates that are on tonight. That's not why they canceled it. They thought they could go up against the debate time. It's not rescheduled as far as I can see because they don't want to lose face. There would have been nobody in there. And I want to show you some of the prices that they were charging for you to watch this dog crap. Bounding into Comics was kind enough to create an article and documenting some of the price tags that they were asking for people to come in and watch them. So here's some of the stuff. All right, and some of them are promoting it. It's funny. That was getting like no interaction. Look at some of these archive tweets. 11 retweets, 22 likes. So, all right, let's take a look at this. All right, in order to attend the panel, you must at least purchase or contribute a $50 ticket. Other levels included a $250 ticket, a $1,000 ticket, a $2,800 ticket, and a $5,600 ticket. The highest contribution level gives donors access to the general admission, the VIP event, a one-on-one video chat with one of the big-name panel guests. Who is that? Who's that? And a writing critique or a portfolio review. That's what you got. Who the hell is going to spend $5,600 for a bunch of comic book pros? Nobody. You can't get people excited. So it was likely canceled because nobody wanted to pay $50 to watch these people get political. And that's what would have been. A bunch of comic pros. You could see that for free. Because if you go to a comic book professional's Twitter, all they're doing all damn day is talking about Donald Trump. Trump. They're not talking about comics. They're not talking about comic book characters. They're not talking about comic books. All they're doing is talking about politics. I challenge you. Look at all the names on this list that are in comic books. Go to their Twitters right now. They're talking about some kind of istophobe stuff, politics, the Orange Man, Onan Drumpf. Dan Slott's a really good example for this. I'm surprised he's not on this list. Guy wrote Amazing Spider-Man for 10 years. He's been talking to Trump for 4 of them. One-sided, by the way. Trump has no idea who the hell you are, Dan Slott. I'm surprised he didn't jump to be on this. Sit there and talk about Biden. So, why would I pay $50? I can just go listen to you talking about how much you don't like the big old mean orange man for free on your Twitter. I don't need to pay $50 to see you say it. So this failed miserably. Nobody paid for it, and that's why it got canceled. They won't come out and say it, but I bet you the numbers for this were abysmal. And that's why it's canceled. That's why it's not happening, because nobody wants to pay a bunch of comic book pros that they've never heard of, sit around and talk about Biden. Nobody cares. You know what people want to see you guys talk about? Comic books. But none of you do it. And it's one of the reasons why the industry is in the problem in the hole it's in. None of you care about comics. You want to make Netflix shows. That's what you want to do. Well, newsflash, DC Comics, and this is the greatest thing about Future State, that event coming to DC Comics. They're bringing in people from animation and screenplay writers. I hope they replace all of you. They're far more talented. They were already in Hollywood. So anyway, that's it. This is just a big failure that I wanted to share with all of you because I thought it was funny and I thought a lot of you would get a kick out of it. They couldn't get anybody to sign up for this thing, and that's, I guarantee you, why it was canceled. Maybe it was canceled for another reason, but my guess is this thing was a big failure. Because like I said, why would I pay $50 to hear you guys talk about politics? I can see that for free on your Twitters all day because it's all you talk about. Don't go to a comic book professional's Twitter for comic book news. You can go there for CNN updates, though. It's such a joke. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. Also, if you would, please share the video, throw a like up. Make sure you still subscribe. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell. And I'll see all of you on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, take a moment. Make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that and subscribe if you're new.